Hello everyone, welcome back to Falcon Fire RC. And today's video is going to be a bit of a weird one because I was originally planning for this video to take up multiple videos because I'm going to be putting some upgrades on my horse in this video, and each upgrade was going to have its own video. However, that didn't exactly work out, so I'm just combining it into one video. If you notice some parts of this video where it seems like I'm talking about like last video, as in like the last upgrade, that's why, because when I was recording those parts, I was planning to have them be their own video. I am using a mixture of old footage and new footage. I'm taking, basically this started last week. I've been recording stuff off and on throughout that last week. So today's video is going to be a mixture of stuff from different things, and I'm going to be inserting clips from today into areas needed. But without further ado, let's continue with the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to Falcon Fire RC. It's upgrade season, and for that I'm going to be putting these upgrades on my Traxxas horse, starting with the Traxxas 9080 Extreme Heavy-Duty Outer Driveline Suspension Upgrade Kit. This is the X or blue variant. The Traxxas Extreme Heavy-Duty Kit is exactly how it sounds. It basically takes some of the weaker parts on this already pretty strong truck and makes them a lot stronger. You'll be able to see that because I'm going to do one half of the truck first and then compare the stock pieces to the main pieces. The main thing is these drive shafts are extremely thick. It comes with black rubber sealed ball bearings, which I'm pretty sure are more resilient to water than the blue sealed ones. But without further ado, let's get to wrenching. Got one side of the kit installed. These are what the parts look like up next to it. Hold on, not quite. These are what the parts all look like up next to each other. And the camera doesn't quite do it justice, I don't think, but they're incredibly strong. Like a lot beefier than old ones, especially the drive shafts. Look at these drive shafts. It's crazy. But I'm going to finish the rest of it off video and come back later. There are a few things I forgot to mention about the Extreme Heavy Duty Upgrade Kit, which is understandable because it was midnight when I did that. But the first of those things are these hexes. This is really good. It's really good that they have these hexes because I've stripped a bunch of them on the Haas. Mostly because the nuts have come out a little bit, and that puts more strain on the inside of the hex and the pin, which shouldn't be a problem anymore because these are steel hexes. They're a lot stronger, although they are a little bit more annoying because they don't stay on like the plastic hexes do. But I have an idea for how I can fix that, and I'll show you in a future video if I can figure it out. Also, in the instructions for the Extreme Heavy Duty Upgrade Kit, they have this diagram to show you where you need to adjust the front turnbuckles. I misunderstood and thought they also meant the rear turnbuckles, so I extended them to 81 millimeters. Don't do that because it's going to make the tires like angle in a lot. It's not good. Some people also say that this E-clips that are on the drive shafts, you can see some of them there, you should put some super glue on them to hold them in. I'm probably going to do that eventually, but for now I'm just going to leave it. Some of you may think that these shock towers are the same, so there's no point to replace them, and that's actually not the case, because if you try to keep the stock shock towers, the drive shafts will rub on them. You won't actually be able to put the drive shafts in, so that's why they have these shock towers, because not only are they a stronger plastic, but they are also redesigned to allow for these really thick max 30 drive shafts. In today's video, I'm going to be installing the Traxxas GTR shocks on my Traxxas horse. In the last video, I installed the Extreme Heavy-Duty Upgrade Kit, although this was recorded before that, so you can see it's just the standard parts. These are the long and extra long variants for the front and the rear. The spring retainers come hidden inside this, just so that if you want to get these shocks and you notice they're not on, you don't panic. Just so that you know that. Here's the standard shock fluid that it comes with. I'm pretty sure it's just 30 weight fluid. I'm not going to be putting that in. I'm going to be putting in this 40 weight. These things are widely considered by many people to be some of the best shocks, like 10th scale shocks out there. They are quite pricey, but they're a lot better than the stock Ultra shocks. These are also threaded shocks, so it means you can adjust the preload a lot easier than with the Ultra shocks. Let's get to have all the rest of this stuff out and I start building the shocks. Okay, so I'm gonna fill them now, and I'm chosen to fill them with 40 weight fluid and the pink rated springs from Traxxas. I'm gonna fill all the other ones off camera. Alrighty, so I have already finished building the shocks and put them on the horse. And let me tell you, I've only run it 3 times so far with these new shocks, so it's been raining out. But already they're a big improvement. I'm pretty sure the tuning is not quite right. I think I definitely need the blue rated springs and potentially 50 weight fluid, because while it does drive smoother over rough terrain, it does still chassis slap a lot off jumps. So I'm going to, in a future video, I'm going to put blue rated springs and 50 weight fluid in it, and you can see just how far down I have to have this preload collars to have it bounce back up, have the proper ride height, which is why I think I need the blue rated springs. The last proper upgrade I'm going to put on the horse are these ProTek 30x30x10 aluminum case fans to replace the Traxxas fans. Both of these fans have not broken. They're both missing several blades. So I'm going to put on these fans because they're supposed to be higher speed. They're aluminum cased, which makes them a lot stronger. And they're just overall much better than the stock Traxxas fans. Both of the stock Traxxas fans are missing blades. They're also broken on the spokes of them are broken on the bottom. So there we go, the Traxxas fans versus the ProTek fans. The ProTek fans are actually a little taller, and a little wider, which poses the first problem. The fan shroud will not work with the new fan, so I'm going to have to bolt the fan directly to the ESC and it won't have any protection. Which shouldn't be too big of a problem, because the horse doesn't really throw rocks into its chassis as much as Ford slash. Here's the big question here. Will it fit in there? We'll have to find out soon. We also have another problem. The connectors on here, you can see, are the wrong connectors. So we're going to have to do some soldering to get the right connectors on there. So I'm going to have to take the connector from this fan, solder it onto that fan, so that this fan can run on the ESC. So the motor fan is easy enough. I'm pretty sure it'll just bolt directly onto here. And I'll just take the lead that I've already threaded into the receiver box, plug the fan in. This fan, not only is it taller, it is slightly wider, by like 1 millimeter. And I think it could fit into this, but it's going to be a really tight fit, and this is actually cracked. So, alrighty, so for this fan, we're going to have to do something a little bit more tricky. We're going to have to solder on a new connector so we can use this, and also we can't use this. I'm just gonna have to bolt it directly on using these 2 screws from the motor fan. I'm gonna have to figure out what these screws are so I can get 4 more to securely bolt them on. First things first is going to be, okay, we got those exposed. That's not a good sign. No. Okay, that's the sign I need, but I need to make sure they don't short out. Yeah. That's why it cut out there. I'm gonna try to turn it on, it's shorted out. Okay, everybody, I got the ESC fan on. It didn't exactly go to plan because I'm not exactly good enough at soldering to have soldered the connector back on properly. So I had to use electric tape. Hopefully it doesn't come loose and cause it to short out. But both fans are working. They're very loud and they have a lot of air. So I've changed the 2 things with the fans since that last clip. First of all, I have undone the makeshift connector I made. You can't really see it down there. And used heat shrink instead of the electrical tape on the connectors themselves. So that should stop them from being able to short out. I've also secured both the wires down a little bit. The motor wire is secured to the antenna straw, and that wire is secured to the side of the ESC. The second thing I've done is I went to a hardware store in my hometown and got these 4 screws. They're 3 by 5/8 inch sheet metal screws. They're a little thicker than the screws that I originally had, but they work just fine for bolting onto the motor heatsink. One problem with these fans, they work great. So far in testing, they have kept the electronics at or below 110 degrees Fahrenheit, which is good. The stock Traxxas fans couldn't have kept up with that in colder weather. However, I think they draw too many amps because the battery seems to die fast now, and it's not actually dead because it still has some voltage in the cells. So it's just the EC is going into premature LVC because the C rating on the battery isn't high enough, and these fans are drawing too many amps. I have an idea on how to fix that, which may or may not be related to this over here, which I'll be showing in a future video. But just be aware, if you're going to get it and you have a Traxxas battery, it might not have a high enough C rating to run these fans. Initial testing, these fans are great. The last upgrade I'm going to be putting on my Haas this spring, which isn't really an upgrade, it's just a cosmetic thing, is this brand new, beautiful green and blue body. I was originally going to wait until next spring to get a new body for the Haas, but if you look at this one, there's cracks absolutely everywhere. I don't know, you probably can't see this properly on the camera, but it's really bad. There's cracks everywhere. I've done my best to patch them up when they happen, but there's cracks everywhere. You can see I've done the drywall tape and shoe groove body reinforcement, which I also did on the old body, except the old body had some issues with this because you can see there's places that I missed because of the roll cage, because I didn't think it would work. All those everywhere in this body had the drywall tape and shoe groove reinforcement, and it's also just laid on. It's a lot applied a lot better. You see there's gaps there. Here there is no gaps. It's just completely covered in shoe groove. So that's gonna make this body a lot stronger. And also, the old solar flare body is going to be the new basher body. This is only going to be for regular driving, maybe some light bashing, like small jumps, but I don't want to jump it too much, so yeah. So those are the spring upgrades for my Haas complete. I'm going to finish out the video by showing a few clips of it driving and some before and after pictures or videos of the Haas. I will be making a separate video for each of these upgrades later on, probably a few months later, to have a full review on each of them, especially the GTR shocks, because those are some things that I'm most excited about. But that's really all I have to say. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, goodbye.